I'm Naomi Booth and I teach in the English Studies department here at Durham, and I am particularly interested both in my teaching and my research in creative response alongside literary analysis. One of my interests as both a writer and an academic researcher is the relationship between environments and human bodies, and the literary depictions of those relationships, and of literary ecologies is how I think of those relationships. And I've become increasingly interested in the relationships between specific geographical regions and the literatures that they produce. So I was really delighted last year to have the chance to become involved in a project called HAG, which was all about revitalising regional folk tales, going back to the regions that they were originally told in, and inviting contemporary writers to produce contemporary versions of certain folk tales that were at risk of going extinct. HAG was originally commissioned by Audible. So there was a sense in which those of us who were involved were attempting to make a contribution to a very new oral storytelling tradition, which has sprung up recently through the popularity of podcasts and audiobooks and all sorts of audio drama series. So it was really interesting to work on older materials, but using very modern technology. So my piece, for example, which is called Sour Hall, used binaural sound, so there was a real sense of the listener being in the middle of the action. And I suppose it's interesting to think about the power of those oral traditions as we maybe enter a new golden age of oral storytelling that's been facilitated through new technologies. It seems to me to be a really good and interesting time to be thinking about regional traditions of storytelling, partly because I think there's been a real proliferation in the last couple of decades in modes of production that are based in the regions, by which I mean a kind of proliferation of independent small publishers, many of which are based in the north as well as in other regions in Britain and Ireland. And it really feels like there's a groundswell of excitement about both writers and publishers and other artists who are based outside of London at the moment. My own work is published by Dead Ink, a publisher in Liverpool, which is part of the Northern Fiction Alliance, and they're a group of publishers based in the north of England who are really interested in diverse storytelling and disseminating stories from different parts of the UK.